Welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving deep into the intriguing world of military tactics and strategies, revealing secrets that every prepper should know. The military stands as a paragon of survival and resilience, with its rigorous training regimes and strategic thinking that make them some of the most capable survivors on the planet. We're about to delve into these time-tested strategies, translating them into practical tips and techniques that you can apply to your own prepping routines. From mastering situational awareness to efficient resource management, from the art of camouflage and concealment to navigation skills, and from first aid to stealth and evasion techniques, we'll be exploring everything. And let's not forget the importance of load-carrying techniques. All these aspects come together to form a comprehensive survival plan. So, are you ready to enhance your survival skills? Let's dive in. First up, we have situational awareness. Now, this is a concept that's drilled into every soldier from day one. It's all about being hyper-aware of your surroundings, understanding what's happening around you, and predicting potential dangers before they occur. Picture this: a soldier on the battlefield is constantly scanning the environment, noting changes, assessing threats, and making split-second decisions that can mean the difference between life and death. This same level of alertness can be equally beneficial for preppers. So, how can you develop this kind of situational awareness? It starts by breaking free from the tunnel vision that most of us fall into during our daily routines. Begin by actively observing your surroundings. Notice the small details, the shifts in the environment, the unusual behaviors. It's like playing a continuous game of spot the difference. Over time, you'll start to develop an instinct for when something is amiss. But remember, it's not just about observing, it's about understanding and predicting. Ask yourself, what could happen here? And plan accordingly. For instance, if you're in a crowded place, identify the nearest exits. If you're in the wilderness, keep an eye out for signs of wildlife or changes in weather. The key is to always be prepared for the unexpected. Incorporate this mindset into your prepping routines. When you're stocking up on supplies, don't just think about what you need now. Anticipate future needs and potential shortages. When you're setting up a shelter, don't just consider comfort. Think about potential threats, escape routes, and defensive positions. Situational awareness is a skill that needs practice. It might feel a bit overwhelming at first, but with time, it will become second nature. So, start today. Be more aware, be more observant, be more prepared. Because in a survival situation, the more you see, the more you understand, the better your chances of making it through unscathed. Remember, awareness is key to survival. It's your first line of defense, your early warning system. It's what allows you to not just react to threats, but to anticipate them and stay one step ahead. So keep your eyes open, your mind sharp, and your senses tuned in. Stay aware, stay safe. Next, let's talk about resource management. A key aspect of survival, honed to perfection by the military, is the efficient use of resources. In the armed forces, nothing goes to waste. Every piece of equipment, every morsel of food, every drop of water is accounted for and utilized to its fullest potential. Consider how the military rations food. Soldiers are often given meals ready to eat, or MREs, which are carefully calibrated to provide the exact nutrients and energy needed for a day of strenuous activity. These rations are portioned out with precision, ensuring that no food is wasted and that each soldier is adequately nourished. In a survival situation, this kind of careful rationing can be crucial. Even if you have a good stockpile of food and water, it's essential to manage these resources wisely. You never know how long you might need to rely on them. The military also optimizes its use of equipment. Everything from weapons to vehicles to communication devices is maintained meticulously. Regular checks and repairs are carried out to ensure that all gear is in peak condition and ready for use at a moment's notice. In your own prepping routines, you can apply this principle by regularly inspecting and maintaining your survival gear. Ensure your equipment is always in good working order and that you know how to use it effectively. This includes everything from your shelter setup to your cooking utensils to your first aid kit. Even resources like time and energy are managed efficiently in the military. Soldiers are trained to perform tasks quickly and effectively, conserving their energy for when it's most needed. As a prepper, you can adopt this mindset by planning and executing your survival tasks with efficiency and foresight. Remember, in a survival situation, resources are not just things you have, they're things you manage. The more efficiently you can manage your resources, the longer they will last, and the better your chances of survival will be. Efficient resource management can mean the difference between life and death in a survival situation. Now, let's move on to camouflage and concealment. In the military, avoiding detection is often a matter of life and death. Soldiers use a variety of techniques to blend into their environment and conceal their equipment. These skills aren't just for combat zones, they can be invaluable to preppers as well. Imagine you're in a survival situation where it's essential to stay hidden, perhaps from a potential threat. Camouflage can help you blend into your surroundings, making you virtually invisible. Natural materials like branches, leaves, or mud can be used to disrupt your shape and color, masking your presence. Concealment, on the other hand, involves hiding your belongings, your shelter, or even your tracks. It's about being mindful of how you set up your camp, where you store your supplies, and how you move around. Remember, in a survival scenario, your visibility can make you a target. In a survival scenario, remaining unseen could save your life. Next, we focus on navigation and terrain skills. These are some of the most essential skills that military personnel hone through their rigorous training. Imagine being dropped into an unfamiliar landscape, with just your backpack and your wits to help you navigate. This is a reality for many troops, and they rely on a mix of traditional and high-tech methods to find their way and survive. Let's talk about traditional navigation first, the good old map and compass. Soldiers learn to read topographical maps, understand contour lines, and use a compass to pinpoint their location and direction. They also use a technique called terrain association, which means matching the physical terrain around them with the features on the map. This can be a lifesaver when GPS is not an option. Now, onto the high-tech tools. Military personnel often have access to advanced navigation tools like GPS devices and satellite communication systems. But remember, technology can fail, batteries can die, and signals can be lost. Therefore, these are used as a supplement, not a replacement, for traditional navigation skills. So how can you as a prepper apply these techniques? Firstly, invest time in learning how to read a map and use a compass. There are plenty of resources online and in books to help you with this. Secondly, familiarize yourself with your local terrain. Know the landmarks, the water sources, the safe and dangerous areas. This knowledge can be incredibly useful in a survival situation. Finally, while it's handy to have a GPS device, don't solely rely on it. Remember the military rule. Use it as a supplement to your traditional navigation skills, not a replacement. Knowing your way can be just as important as having a destination. Mastering navigation and terrain skills not only ensures you can get from point A to point B, but it also gives you the confidence to face challenging environments, knowing that you can find your way. This confidence is a powerful tool in any survival situation, making these skills a crucial part of any prepper's toolkit. Let's not forget about first aid and field medicine. When you're out there, far from the conveniences of modern healthcare, your knowledge of first aid and field medicine can mean the difference between life and death. Soldiers are trained extensively in these areas, learning how to respond to a variety of medical emergencies. They're equipped with the knowledge to treat wounds, manage pain, and even perform minor surgeries in dire situations. They understand the importance of swift and appropriate action when a medical crisis hits. Like soldiers, preppers must also be well-versed in first aid and field medicine. Understanding how to treat a burn, a fracture, or a deep cut can save a life when professional medical help is miles away or simply unavailable. It's not just about having a first aid kit, it's about knowing how to use it effectively. In addition to treating physical injuries, soldiers are also trained to handle psychological trauma. In a survival situation, mental health is just as important as physical health. Knowing how to manage stress and maintain morale can keep your group cohesive and resilient in the face of adversity. For preppers, learning about first aid and field medicine is not an option, it's a necessity. You can start by taking certified first aid courses, reading medical handbooks, or even attending survivalist workshops. Remember, the goal is not to become a doctor overnight, but to acquire a basic understanding of medical care that can be applied in critical situations. And let's not forget about preventive care. Hygiene, nutrition, and routine health checks can prevent many health issues from arising in the first place. Soldiers know this well, and so should preppers. A healthy body is a resilient body, capable of withstanding the harshest conditions. When help is not on the way, your first aid skills can make a world of difference. So equip yourself with knowledge, prepare for the worst, and hope for the best. After all, in the world of survival, knowledge is the most powerful weapon you can wield. Next, we delve into stealth and evasion techniques. It's all about the art of moving unnoticed and staying hidden, a crucial skill set honed by military forces over centuries. For a prepper, these techniques could mean the difference between staying safe or being exposed to potential threats. Imagine being in a hostile scenario, where revealing your location could be dangerous. The key is to move silently and leave minimal traces. It's not just about physical movement, but also controlling sounds and even managing light reflection. Consider the techniques used by special forces. They blend effortlessly into their surroundings using shadows and natural cover. They're aware of their noise output, from the crunch of leaves underfoot to the rustle of their gear. And don't forget about scent. In certain situations, even the smell of a cooking fire can give away your location. Mastering these stealth and evasion techniques takes practice, but the payoff could be immense. Staying hidden can keep you safe from potential threats. We've just scratched the surface of what military strategies can offer to enhance your prepping efforts. Today we've journeyed through the disciplined world of military training, exploring how situational awareness can keep you a step ahead of potential threats. We've delved into the importance of resource management, a skill that can be the difference between life and death in times of scarcity. We've looked at the art of camouflage and concealment, a strategic necessity for both soldiers and survivalists alike. We've navigated the complexities of terrain skills and the vital importance of first aid and field medicine when you're out there on your own. We've also discussed the value of stealth and evasion techniques, as well as the efficiency of load-carrying techniques. Remember, these are not just military techniques, but survival skills that can be integrated into your prepping routine. Integrating these techniques into your survival plan can significantly boost your resilience and readiness.